Hello everyone, welcome back to the course on Computer Fundamentals and Problem Solving using C. This is Saroja Pathapati, working as a STEM professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, SRKR Engineering College. In this session, we are going to discuss about different input and output functions through which we can read input and we can write output. And then we discuss about increment and decremental operators. So the object of today's session is to learn about input and output statements and to learn about incremental and decremental operators in detail. So coming to the input and output statements, right? This can be done using input and output functions, right? Whether we want to take input or we want to write output. This can be done using input and output functions. So does we need to write any functionality for input and output functions? No, it is already available in our C library. We just simply import that particular header file and we make use of them. So stdio.h is a header file which is used for input and output functions. It is a standard input and output header file. Fine, this is not the only header file available in our C library. We have various header files. So we discuss them in detail when we discuss about header files. Fine, coming to the input and output functions, they are majorly categorized into two types. One is formatted input and output functions and other is unformatted input and output functions. So here we are seeing about just formatted input and output functions. So scanf is a function which is used for reading input. Fine, it is used for reading input through keyboard. Fine. So if you observe here, this is the syntax for the scanf. %x is a format specifier. So we have already discussed about a format specifier. Depending on the type of the variable, right, we will define our format specifier. And here we are writing like this is a variable name. Okay, this is a variable name. But before to the variable name, here we are including ampersand symbol. Okay, here we are including ampersand symbol. Generally, when a variable is created, right, some memory is allocated and then a name is given for that memory location, right? When we want to read some input from the keyboard, we want to say where we want to place that particular input, right? So here, ampersand represent address. So in that particular address, I want to place my value. Fine, okay. Then coming to an output function, printf is known as an output function, which helps us to print some value or some kind of text or mixed of text and value to our output screen. Fine. So for that we have variations of printfs. Suppose I have taken printf in double quotes just text. It helps us to print some text to my output screen. Fine. This is next variation, that is printf format specifier variable name. Here we are not including ampersand symbol. If you observe these two things, you can find the difference. While printing, I am not including ampersand symbol. Fine, because we already know the address location when we have taken input. So while printing, I am not including that ampersand symbol. Just I am trying to print that value. Suppose a equal to 5 and I am trying to print like %x a. Then only in my output screen, I can visualize 5. But if I want to print like the value of a is 5, then at this place, I want to write like the value of a is. Then after, I need to include format specifier, right? That is %x. The value of a is %x. X may be anything. Then you can print like the value of a is 5. Fine. Then how to take this input? Here we are giving some examples for that, right? Suppose I'm taking 3 variables here, that is integer variable, floating variable and character variable. Okay, the name of the variables is integer variable, int variable, float variable and char variable. So here I'm showing you how to read input for that. As integer will, what is the format specifier for integer? It is %d, right? So I'm including like %d ampersand int variable. Simply I am printing that value. If you want to print the value of int variable, then what you will do here? The value of int variable is %d comma int variable. Similarly, I am doing for other things. For float, I am using %f format specifier and for character, I am using %c. Okay. Then I'm seeing a different function here, that is a clear screen function. Okay, this is CLR SCR. It is also known as a clear screen function. It is also a predefined function which is available in a header file called conio.h, that is console input output header file. Okay, so what is the use of this thing? Whenever we define this in our program, okay, it will clear our output screen. Why there is a need for clearing our output screen? See, if I'm executing addition of two numbers, right? So on the output screen, I can print like addition of two numbers. After that, I'm trying to execute some subtraction of two numbers. While getting the output, it will even store the previous output also. At starting, it will show the addition of two numbers. Then after, it will show like subtraction of two numbers. But if I intentionally want to see only the program, whatever I'm executing, that particular output only, then I make use of this clear screen option. Fine. And there is a condition that it must always place after the declaration of variables and functions. Fine. That is after int a comma b and something like function declarations and all, then only I need to include these statements. Then here you can observe one more function, that is a getCH function. It is also available in conio.h header file. Fine. Generally we include this at the end of our program. Why we include this at the end of the program? If you want to see intentionally output on your output screen, right, then you need to include getCH function. If you haven't included this getCH function, you need to give some control keys for seeing at the output. Then coming to an increment and decrement operators. Here you can see increment operators is divided into two types, that is pre-incrementation and post-incrementation. Right? Pre is nothing but just like your prepaid. What you will do, we need to pay the amount before and then we make use of it. Right? When you, I can say an example like your recharges, right? We have two types of recharges for our mobile. One is a prepaid recharge and other is a postpaid recharge, right? Similar functionality will exist here. This is a pre-increment and post-increment operators. When we say about pre-increment, increment symbol will come before the variable. When we say about a post-increment, increment symbol will come after. Increment symbol will come after the variable name. Fine. So what this pre-increment will do? It will increment the value of the variable by 1 and then use the x value in the expression. That is, whenever we make this thing in our expressions, right? Starting only it will increment the value and then store that incremented value in our expression. So what is, so here post incrementation, right? What we do in post incrementation, first the original x value will store into the expression and then it will perform incrementation. Okay, this is the difference between pre-incrementation and post-incrementation. There comes pre-decrementation and post-decrementation, right? What pre-decrementation will do? It will first decrement the x value and then perform in the expression. Fine. Here in post-decrementation, it will take the original x value into the expression. After that, in the original memory space, it will decrement the x value. Fine. This is how our increment and decrement operators will work. Let us see in a clear fashion in our program. So, if you observe here are some examples given. See, here my a value is 5, b value is 7 and c value is 3. Right? And here, what I am doing, d equal to pre-incrementation of b. Right? It is pre-incrementation. So, what is the value of b here? 8, because pre-incrementation will do incrementation at start, right? So it is having incremented and used in the expression. And minus symbol as it is. This is post-incrementation, right? So what it will do, it will copy the original value of a into the expression and then after that in original memory location the value of it will get changed. right? So here the value is this one. Okay, so let us observe again. Here it is an expression and we are using pre-incrementation. What it will do in pre-incrementation? It will increment the value and then store in the original memory location. Next, after post-incrementation, it will store the original value in the expression and it will increment the value in our original memory location. Fine. See here, post-decrementation. So what is the value of A here? 6. 6 is copied here and then minus pre-decrementation. What is the C value? 3. As it is a pre-decrementation, first the value get decreased. So 3 minus 1 is 2 and then 2 is used in our example, right? So this is how we will perform incrementation and decrementation. This is a simple program for incrementation and decrementation. Here I am taking 4 variables. So I am using one for pre-incrementation, one for post-incrementation, one for pre-decrementation and other for post-decrementation. Fine. If you observe here, right, I am getting the original value of x, that is 10 will get displayed here. And here I am trying to print the incremented value as it is a pre-incremented value, right? What will be the output? 11 will be the output and this will get modified by 11. And here also you will get 11. Right. What is post-incrementation? Here what you will do? I am printing the original y value, that is 20. And I am incrementing it posteriorly. So what it will do? Here it will print 20 and in original memory location it will be 21. So after incrementation, if you cannot see this one, see here, right, what it will print here? Here it will print 20 and here it will print 21. Okay. So next after that I'm doing pre-decrementation operator. So pre-decrementation operator. Original value, what is the value just of A? 5, right? 5 is printed here as it is a pre-decrementation. Decrementation will be performed and then it will print, right? So as the value is 5, it is decremented by 1 and then it is printing. And after decrementation, we are printing the value, right? So then after, fine, what I'm doing here, see if you observe, next after that I'm doing post-decrementation operator. That is first original value. As it is a post-decrementation, the original value will be placed on your output screen and the value will get, the value at the memory location will get decremented. So what is the value of B here? It will be 3, right? So this is about incrementation and decrementation operators and about printf and scanf functions in detail. If you have any doubts, you can text me. This is the end of the session and meet you in the next one.